He was handsome. He was charismatic. Ted Bundy had an allure that was almost magnetic, drawing people in with his easy smile and confident demeanor. He could have been anyone's friend, brother, or even the boy next door. He seemed like the boy next door. With his clean-cut appearance and charming personality, Bundy easily blended into the fabric of everyday life. He was the kind of person you wouldn't think twice about inviting to a family barbecue or a neighborhood gathering. But beneath the surface, a darkness lurked. A darkness that was hidden behind his seemingly perfect facade. This darkness was not just a fleeting shadow but a deep, malevolent force that would soon reveal itself in the most horrifying ways. A darkness that would explode into a reign of terror, the kind of terror that would grip the nation and leave an indelible mark on the collective psyche. His crimes were not just acts of violence, they were calculated, cold-blooded acts of pure evil. His name was Ted Bundy, and he became synonymous with evil. The name itself would become a byword for terror, a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity. His trial was a media sensation, capturing the attention of millions. He preyed on young women, his crimes as shocking as they were gruesome. These were not random acts of violence but meticulously planned abductions and murders. Each victim was carefully chosen, each crime meticulously executed. This is the chilling story of his descent into depravity, a story that unfolds like a nightmare, revealing the true horror of Bundy's actions. It is a tale that continues to haunt us, a grim reminder of the evil that can lurk behind the most charming of facades. Bundy's charm was almost hypnotic. He had an uncanny ability to make people feel at ease, to trust him implicitly. This was his most dangerous weapon, a tool he wielded with chilling precision. He used it to disarm his victims, often gaining their trust before betraying them in the most horrific ways. His approach was methodical, his demeanor disarming. He was a master manipulator, able to mask his true intentions until it was too late. His crimes were marked by a chilling brutality, a cold-bloodedness that sent shockwaves across America. Each new revelation was more horrifying than the last, painting a picture of a man devoid of empathy, driven by a dark and insatiable hunger. The nation watched in horror as details emerged of his heinous acts. News reports and headlines screamed of his atrocities, leaving the public in a state of shock and disbelief. How could someone so seemingly normal commit such unspeakable acts? How could someone so seemingly normal commit such unspeakable atrocities? This question would haunt everyone who followed the case, a chilling reminder that evil can wear the most unexpected masks. Theodore Robert Bundy entered the world in 1946. His early life was shrouded in secrecy and shame. Born to an unwed mother, he was raised believing his grandparents were his parents and his mother was his sister. This deception cast a long shadow over his childhood. Even as a child, there were red flags, a disturbing fascination with violence, a tendency towards voyeurism, cruelty to animals. These early warning signs, however, went largely unnoticed or were ignored. As Bundy grew older, his dark side continued to fester. He became withdrawn and secretive. The charming facade hid a growing monster within. Bundy's reign of terror began in the Pacific Northwest in the early 1970s. His victims were young women, often college students. He targeted them with chilling precision, often posing as someone in need of help. A broken arm, a flat tire. His pleas for assistance were a mask for his sinister intentions. His first confirmed kill sent shockwaves through the community. The victim, a young woman who resembled Bundy's college sweetheart, was found bludgeoned to death. Her body was discovered in a wooded area, left to decompose. This marked the beginning of a terrifying killing spree. Bundy's methods were brutal, often involving rape, torture, and necrophilia. His crimes escalated in their depravity, leaving a trail of devastation and heartbreak in their wake. Experts have long sought to understand the psychology behind Bundy's horrific acts. He was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. This disorder is characterized by a lack of empathy, a disregard for social norms, and a tendency towards manipulative and impulsive behavior. Bundy possessed a chilling ability to compartmentalize. He could separate his outward persona from his dark, violent impulses. This duality made him even more dangerous. He craved power and control, and he derived pleasure from the suffering of his victims. Bundy's crimes were not merely acts of violence, they were calculated displays of dominance and control over his victims. He saw himself as a puppet master, orchestrating their pain and suffering for his own gratification. Section 5. The Art of Deception. Bundy was a master manipulator, adept at blending in and appearing harmless. His ability to seamlessly integrate into various social settings made him an enigma, a chameleon who could adapt to any environment. Whether it was a bustling city street or a quiet suburban neighborhood, Bundy knew how to make himself invisible, to become just another face in the crowd. He used his intelligence and charisma to disarm his victims, luring them into a false sense of security. His charm was not just superficial, it was a calculated tool, honed to perfection. He could engage in deep, meaningful conversations, making his victims feel understood and valued. This emotional connection was his weapon, a way to lower their defenses and make them vulnerable. Often he would feign injury or disability, playing the role of the helpless victim to perfection. This act of vulnerability was disarming, making it easier for him to gain sympathy and assistance from unsuspecting individuals. The sight of a seemingly injured man struggling to perform simple tasks would evoke a sense of compassion, making it almost impossible for people to refuse his requests for help. He would then overpower his victims, often binding and gagging them before transporting them to remote locations. These isolated spots were carefully chosen, places where he could carry out his heinous acts without fear of interruption. The transition from a seemingly harmless encounter to a terrifying ordeal was swift, leaving his victims with little time to react or escape. His ability to gain the trust of his victims, particularly young women who saw him as charming and non-threatening, was a key factor in his success. He had an uncanny ability to read people, to understand their fears and desires, and to use this knowledge to his advantage. His victims were often those who were most vulnerable, those who were looking for a friend, a confidant, or simply someone to talk to. Bundy exploited societal expectations, using his charm and good looks to appear trustworthy and approachable. In a world where appearances often dictate first impressions, Bundy knew how to present himself as the ideal gentleman. His clean-cut appearance, combined with his articulate speech and polite demeanor, made it easy for him to gain the trust of those around him. His crimes were a stark reminder that evil can lurk beneath the most unassuming facades. The contrast between his outward appearance and his inner malevolence was a chilling testament to the depths of human deception. It serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that we must always be vigilant, for danger can often wear the mask of innocence. Section 6. A Web of Clues, The Hunt for a Killer. As Bundy's body count rose, so too did the pressure on law enforcement to catch him. A task force was formed, dedicated to tracking down the elusive killer. Investigators followed a trail of clues, eyewitness accounts, composite sketches, but Bundy remained one step ahead, constantly changing his appearance and using aliases. His crimes spanned multiple states, making it difficult for authorities to connect the dots. However, his luck wouldn't last forever. A routine traffic stop in Utah would prove to be his undoing. Inside his vehicle, police discovered suspicious items: handcuffs, a ski mask, a crowbar. These items, along with a positive identification from a surviving victim, linked Bundy to the crimes. Section 7. Justice, Delayed but Not Denied. Bundy's capture ignited a media frenzy. His boy-next-door looks and chilling crimes captivated the nation. He faced a series of trials, each one a spectacle of its own. Bundy, a former law student, chose to represent himself in court, relishing the attention and using the platform to proclaim his innocence. However, the evidence against him was overwhelming. Eyewitness testimony, physical evidence, and even his own words, captured on tape, sealed his fate. He was found guilty on multiple counts of murder and sentenced to death. Bundy's trials exposed the dark underbelly of American society, revealing the vulnerabilities of young women and the ease with which a charming predator could operate. Section 8. Behind Bars, A Dance with Death. Despite being on death row, Bundy continued to manipulate and deceive. He played the role of the model prisoner, charming guards and even engaging in jailhouse interviews where he attempted to portray himself as a victim of circumstance. His manipulative tactics even extended to his romantic life. He married Carol Ann Boone in 1980 while on trial for murder, a testament to his ability to captivate and control. Bundy's time on death row was marked by numerous appeals and stays of execution. He taunted authorities with details of his crimes, offering confessions in exchange for delays. However, his attempts to escape justice were ultimately futile. Section 9. The Legacy of Terror, A Haunting Reminder. Ted Bundy, one of the most notorious serial killers in American history, left a trail of horror and heartbreak that still lingers today. His name is synonymous with evil, and his crimes have become a dark chapter in the annals of criminal history. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in Florida's electric chair. The execution marked the end of a long and terrifying saga that had gripped the nation for years. The electric chair, a symbol of finality, brought an end to Bundy's reign of terror. His death was met with a sense of relief and closure by the families of his victims and the nation at large. For many, it was a moment of justice, a long-awaited end to the nightmare that Bundy had inflicted upon them. The collective sigh of relief was palpable, as if a dark cloud had finally lifted. Bundy's reign of terror had finally come to an end. The courtroom battles, the escapes, and the gruesome details of his crimes were now part of history. The justice system had prevailed, and the man who had caused so much pain was no more. But the scars of his crimes ran deep, leaving an indelible mark on the American psyche. The memories of his heinous acts continued to haunt those who had been affected. Candlelight vigils and memorials served as a reminder of the lives lost and the pain endured. His case led to changes in law enforcement procedures, particularly in the area of profiling and investigating serial killers. The lessons learned from Bundy's case have been instrumental in shaping modern investigative techniques. Detectives and officers became more adept at identifying patterns and understanding the minds of serial offenders. Bundy's crimes served as a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of young women and the importance of awareness and self-defense. His actions spurred a movement towards greater personal safety and vigilance. Self-defense classes and safety seminars became more prevalent, empowering individuals to protect themselves. His legacy continues to haunt us, a grim testament to the depths of human depravity. The shadow of Ted Bundy looms large, a constant reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human soul. His story is a cautionary tale, urging us to remain vigilant and never forget the lessons of the past.